In a remote village hidden among the dense forest, there lived an old man named Ki Suta. He is known as a powerful shaman who is able to provide instant wealth to anyone who is willing to meet his conditions. However, the gift he offered was not an ordinary gift. He asked for the sacrifice of a baby. One day, a poor merchant named Wira came to see Ki Suta. His life full of poverty made him despair. With eyes full of hope, he begged Ki Suta to become rich. Ki Suta smiled faintly and put forward the conditions. If you want wealth that will not be consumed by age, give me a baby as a sacrifice. Only then will wealth flow to you. Wira is silent. His heart was torn between greed and conscience. However, greed took over his mind. Full of evil intentions, he kidnapped a baby from a neighboring village and handed it over to Ki Suta. That night, in the middle of the forest, Ki Suta held a terrible ritual. He sacrificed the baby in front of a supernatural creature who appeared from the thick fog. The creature laughed and promised unlimited wealth to Wira. Sure enough, from that day on, Wira's life changed. He suddenly became a rich merchant, had a magnificent house, and abundant gold. However, his wealth came with a terrible curse. Every night, Wira heard the cries of a baby echoing in his house. A black shadow in the form of a baby often appeared in the corner of the room, staring at him with empty eyes that demanded revenge. Wira became increasingly frightened, but his wealth continued to grow. He tried to ignore the disturbances, until one night, a heartbreaking scream was heard very close. He woke up and found the baby's figure at the end of his bed. His tiny body was covered in blood. His eyes were empty, but his mouth was wide open, as if he wanted to swallow Wira alive. Wira screamed in fear and ran out of the house. However, as he stepped out, his feet sank into the ground that suddenly resembled black mud. He tried to grab something, but his body sank further. From the ground, the sound of a baby crying could be heard getting louder. With a look full of regret, Wira's body disappeared, swallowed by the earth. In the morning, the villagers found Wira's house empty, with only his belongings scattered on the floor. There was no trace of him. Some people swore they saw the shadow of a baby crying in his yard, as if waiting for its next victim. Since then, Wira's magnificent house has been abandoned. People who dare to approach claim to hear the sound of a baby crying in the middle of the night. No one dares to touch the remaining treasures because they know it is not